Hi there, we're here today to talk about wills, and if you have one, this will be interest to you. If you don't have one, it will be even more interest to you, and we're going to show you why you should have a will and how you can help Cash for Kids as well. With me at the moment is Murray Etherington from Thorntons, who are behind this campaign to bring more money into Cash for Kids. Murray, welcome. Last year when you did this, it was a great success, over £35,000 raised for Cash for Kids.
Absolutely, no, it was an excellent campaign, and again our highest to date, so it really was wonderful to see.
Of course, you're expanding as well, aren't you, as a company? I was over in your Fife branch not that long ago doing some of the presentations and in Forfar, and so it's again, it helps when you've got more areas to go into.
Absolutely, yes. As you say, we're now in St Andrews and Cooper, and we've opened an office up in Montrose as well recently, so as far north as Montrose all the way down to Cooper, so it's a great stretch, you know, from Perth and Dundee and Angus as well. So the extra offices obviously help the spread and allow us to get more donations in as well. So. Of course,
yeah. Now, I mentioned at the beginning there that you may have a will, you may not have a will, but let's take me as an example. I already have a will. In what circumstances should I come back to you to get it re-looked at?
Well, I think that's one of the interesting things. People make their will and then they put it in the drawer and forget about it for about 20 years. And we would say, look, you know, it's a strange phrase to use, but it's a living document. So when things like, for example, if you get married, if you get divorced, if you have children, if you buy and sell property, if you're coming up for retirement, these kind of major life events are the things that we would say would be a good time to get your will out and have a little look. It may well be that you don't need to do anything, but at least if you can have a review of it, make sure it's up to date, that is probably the best advice. We tend to say to clients from a sort of time period, every sort of 5 to 7 years, probably a good time to at least get it out and have a little look, and if it needs to be changed and updated, then do so.
What are the circumstances that you would need to change it? You mentioned some there. Could be, as you rightly say, a marriage or divorce, children who've grown up and gone. You know, there must be so many circumstances.
Absolutely. I mean, divorce, for example, a lot of people would think that if you have a will, you've left everything to your ex-wife, that it would be revoked on divorce, but actually it's not. So it's very important that you come in and update your will at that stage. But equally for children, you know, when you've got a baby, you maybe want to put in guardianship clauses and who would look after the wee one. And once they turn sort of 16, that kind of is no longer valid. So it's a case of being able to come in and update things so that as the child grows, you're putting in the right protections from them, both from a guardian point of view, but also financial protection as well. So yeah, these kind of things, as the family grows and expands, as your assets perhaps get larger, now's the time to come in and have a little review of things and make sure that the will is still fit for purpose.
I suppose, you know, when you think back a few years ago, you'd always say, there's nothing there for me to put into a will, or I'm too young to make a will. Two statements that are so wrong, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of, I think people now have got more wealth than they've ever had. I mean, when my granny passed away 20 odd years ago, she didn't own her own house, and really we just went in and picked items out of the house. But nowadays people own their own homes, way more so than they ever did before. You've got pensions, you've got life policies, you've got all sorts of money. It's actually quite interesting with clients when I sit down and we do get that statement of, I'm not worth that much, and then you start to write it down on paper. They're worth a lot more than they realise. So yes, I think absolutely it's the right time to come in and have a little check of things.
And you're never too young?
Absolutely not. Unfortunately, we never know when it's our time, and the thing with the will is it allows you to have control over what happens to your assets, and I think that's the very important thing, is that you're the sort of master of your own destiny in that side of things. So come in, update it. I think, you know, as I say, particularly if you've got children, or if you've bought your first home, because you've got an asset there, or you've got someone to look after, they're the real key things. If you've got either of these things, then no matter what age you are, it's the time to do a will.
If I've got a will tucked away in a drawer somewhere, can I amend it or write on it myself?
You can, but the problem with that, and a lot of people think they're saving money by doing their own wills. The issue is whether it's been validly executed or not, and you can have debate after you've passed away about whether that was your intention or what you wanted. So my advice would be come in and see a solicitor, come into the Cash for Kids campaign, we can have a little look at your will. If it's perfectly valid and there's no changes, fine. If you want to make some changes, we can do that through what's called a codicil, and you can make a donation for Cash for Kids, and it's going to the local charity, and you know your instructions are going to be valid and correct.
Right, so let's just hone in there just for a minute or two on the Cash for Kids campaign that Thorntons have. Are you saying that make a donation and all of that, 100% of that donation goes to Cash for Kids?
Absolutely. What happens is we forgo our fee essentially. So you come in, you see us, and you make a donation to Cash for Kids. We collate all of those donations at the end of the campaign, and every single penny that is raised is handed across for Cash for Kids and is used in the local area.
Is there sometimes a bit of a doubt as to how much of a donation do you make? That would be my question. What do I make here without being insulting or giving too much?
Well, absolutely. We have created a little guide on sort of frequently asked questions, and one of the things is the donation amount. So we have suggested some donations, so £150 for a single will, for example, £225 for a couple doing their wills, but they are only suggested amounts. So our view is that if you don't have that much money but you want to make a will, then give what you can. Equally, if your will is maybe a little bit more complicated, perhaps you're coming in second marriage, different children, you know, you're looking for complicated trusts, for example, then you maybe want to feel as if you give a bit more. It really is up to the individual. We'll give a guide, but it's really up to you to decide what you can afford or what you think it's worth.
Right, so the first step would be, really, if you're passing by a Thorntons office and you want to kickstart it, is to pop in, get one of these leaflets, because inside here really does give you all the information, even down to how to make an appointment, and that really answers everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be up on our website and also on your website as well, so people can go and download it as well. But yes, have a little look at that, and then phone any of the offices in Fife, Perth, Dundee or Angus that are running the campaign, and we'll get you in for an appointment and we'll take you through from there.
Murray, thank you very much indeed, and particularly to all the staff that get behind us at Thorntons on behalf of Cash for Kids. It's really appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So there you are, get the leaflet and get on site, or indeed give them a call and make an appointment. Make that will.